Alright, let's talk about what's making headlines today. Kristi Noem, the former governor of South Dakota, now serving as Secretary of Homeland Security, just lobbed some serious criticism at Minnesota Governor Tim Walz over his handling of the 2020 riots. She's not pulling any punches, and neither is the Trump administration. So here's the backstory. In 2020, after the death of George Floyd, riots broke out in Minnesota. Noem said, and I'm quoting, "I was a governor of a neighboring state to Tim Walz and watched him let his city burn." Ouch. She's basically laying the blame on Walz for not acting quickly enough, pointing to his delayed activation of the National Guard while Minneapolis was in chaos. Now, fast forward to this month, June 2025. Protests erupted in Los Angeles after some high-profile ICE arrests. And this time, President Trump isn't waiting around. Noem is using what happened in Minnesota as a warning shot, saying President Trump was not going to let that happen to another city and to another community where a bad governor made a bad decision. So what's the federal government doing? Well, they're sending in a lot of backup 4,000 National Guard troops and 700 Marines all into Los Angeles. And here's the twist. Trump invoked a law that lets the federal government take command of those National Guard troops directly, totally bypassing California's Governor Gavin Newsom. And Governor Newsom is not thrilled about any of this. He's been pretty vocal, calling the move unnecessary, and even accusing Trump of violating state sovereignty. Newsom hopped on X, what used to be Twitter, saying that most of the troops are just sitting, unused, in federal buildings without orders. His words, not mine. He argues it's less about public safety, and more about stroking a dangerous president's ego. But let's step back for a second. Remember, Tim Walz has actually owned up to that infamous delay in sending out the National Guard in 2020. He said, mistakes were made, but he's also proud of how Minnesotans and first responders handled the overall crisis. Now, Kristi Noem's comments are meant to justify the current Trump administration's aggressive response to the LA protests. She's saying basically, we've seen what happens when leaders hesitate. We're not making that mistake again. So, the debate here is pretty clear. On one side, you have the Trump administration and Noem saying, swift action keeps cities safe. On the other, you have Newsom arguing this is federal overreach and not the solution, and honestly, this is one of those moments where the tension between state and federal governments is right out in the open. Both sides have their talking points and neither looks ready to back down. So, what do you think? Did the Trump administration make the right call by deploying troops to LA, or is this a dangerous overstep? Was Noem right to call out Walz, or is this just political theater? Drop your thoughts in the comments, let's get a conversation going. And hey, if you want to stay updated on stories like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.